What's going on, fish? Welcome back to your favorite pond, the Coy Pond, episode 72. And we are back with K-Dog in the studio.
So nice to be back.
Yes.
So nice to be back together. So nice to be back in the studio.
Yes. Everything is back on track.
Back near the reeds,
Yes.
the pond.
Near the swamp grass
Yes.
and the reeds.
It's been so long since we've been in here. We noticed that the bourbon bottle has a little dust on it.
A little dust on it.
Looks like we're in the Old West.
To some extent, I'm hoping the camera's good enough that you guys can capture that. If not, that's okay too.
It's there. Trust
Hey,
us.
We've got it. As you all know, you can find us on YouTube where you're watching this, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and of course, never forget to submit your questions to SpeakPipe. We will answer anything and everything unless it's too outrageous. You know who I'm looking at when I'm looking at you. Don't forget, store is now live. Check the description to get yourself your favorite hoodie or maybe a nice dark green hat. Very spontaneous while it's spring out.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going
Some
with that.
excellent merch, though.
Yes, check out the description if you want to buy anything. Of course, it helps the podcast, and
You'll feel better wearing it. Trust us.
oh, so nice, so nice. Yes, just check out this glorious banner behind us. And this week, hey, we got NFL
we got some
news.
activity, don't we?
We got a little activity, a little NFL news.
Of course, we got March Madness going on, so
Yes.
that's exciting.
Yes, March Madness, a blast. Florida almost gets put away by UConn.
Crazy.
They tease us with 4 days straight of basketball, followed by a week break, which is criminal, but yet
Like trying to quit drugs or something, right?
yes, a bit of the old blue balls, some would say. We got to wait another 5 days for a game, but you
Horrible.
know what? It makes you want it just that much more.
It does.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. Probably need the break, or else I would sit down and not move for several days on end, ordering nothing but pizza straight to my mouth.
So we're down to 16, right?
16, yes.
So Sweet 16. It starts Friday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
I don't know which game's necessarily first, but we get that first day of games. Thursday, second games. Friday, I think the weekend
Okay.
continues with it. Don't quote me on it.
So these games now become more prime time.
Yes, I
because-
think the games start at like 7 and they go till like probably 9 or 10 if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Maybe it's more like 6 to 10. But yes, it's prime time television. It will be amazing.
I feel very fortunate in our company league,
Yes.
which is a blast.
It's a lot of fun.
I don't know if we've explained how that works, but
We can get to that in a sec.
yeah. But I still have 3 teams alive at the moment.
Hey,
So
good on you.
and you and I play
Twice.
twice. That'll take our head-to-head to 3
Yes,
for
this
this season. So
This bracket, if
It's
you
fun.
will. Yeah, it's a blast. So, short story long, the way it's set up is that you get 16 people. It's randomly selected. You get 1 team per region. So you have 4 teams per person, 1 each region, and it's decided all based off spread. So, if you get drawn 3 16 seeds, it's not the worst thing ever because it's off spread. So if your team loses, in this case, if you were like, I don't know,
UConn?
if you were UConn versus Florida, that's a good
great
way to put it.
example.
8 versus a 1 or 9 versus a 1.
yeah, 8, I think.
They covered the spread, but they lost. So what that means for you as the person with the 8 seed team, UConn, you steal Florida from the other person, and they lose that region. They're pretty much out of that region at least. And the spreads are what determine the winner, so that everyone has a fair shot, and you get 16 people in a grouping at $20 each. You get $320 as the payout, or however you guys would do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do for our work league, and it's really a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite things we do at work, to be honest.
I agree. I mean, I look forward to it. I was thinking about it the other day when
Mm-hmm.
you came in and said, "Are you going to play?" And I was like, I was just wondering about this
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter your knowledge, your
No.
skill, whatever. And plus, it's tough to pick that shit anyway.
Yeah, who wants to? Why not make it random?
It when you do that, then it makes you want to watch it so much more
Yes.
because of the point spread thing.
Exactly.
So, man, I love it. I mean, I get addicted to it. We were fortunate
Mm-hmm.
enough a few years ago that we were at French Lick, Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
And
The casino when this was going on.
I think it was when it was the Elite Eight or whatever they call that.
Yeah, I think it was the Elite Eight. And we watched, I think, the Sweet 16, the end of that, into
Yeah.
the Elite Eight that
Yep.
weekend.
And so we were able to play some bets
Oh,
while
yeah.
we were there, over-unders and things like that. And
It was a blast.
along with following our teams, it was so much fun.
I have to say, it's I never even thought I'd enjoy it. It's basically a resort that has a casino strapped onto the side of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're anything like me and a bit of a degenerate, 3 days there will set you straight.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. It's out in the middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Pretty much. French Lick,
Is it-
Indiana.
And I mean, It's like $10 minimum tables.
Yeah.
You just sit there with $100 for several hours and just be hilarious because it's not a. To many of your surprises, it's not a popular location to go spend spring break.
No, and Larry Bird's high school is right down the street.
Yes, they have a bunch of.
So there's a ton of people walking around this casino with Larry Bird jerseys on.
Not to mention the amount of basketball history there because of that. There's like a shit ton of memorabilia. It was really a cool spot. Great hiking trails.
Oh yeah.
Good food. I mean.
Yeah.
Highly underrated. I mean, give it a look if you need somewhere random next year for spring break.
Yeah. So a little quick story about that. So. Colin and I were in there late one night and at the poker table, right?
Yeah, we were playing blackjack.
Yeah, blackjack. And these two guys were sitting there, and they were just hooting and hollering, having fun.
They were fired up. We were looking at them like they were fired up.
Yeah. And so they had a bunch of money there and chips and all that stuff, right?
Been there for hours before us.
And so we sat down, right? Mm-hmm. This guy just starts throwing his chips.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And he's like, "Come on, guys, play."
I think we were towards the end of our night.
Mm-hmm.
It was after all the basketball games. The guys
probably
were
was
next
like
to us.
1 a.m, something like that, midnight.
It was the only open table.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure out why. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure as shit. Bust on a couple hands. Dealer hits me on a couple hands. And all of a sudden, I'm in a situation where I can double.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever the hand is. I can't think off the top of my head. And all of a sudden, this guy throws, I think, 3 chips at my face and goes,
like, "Come on!"
He's like, "You gotta double those." And we're standing there, we're like, "Oh no, man! Like I would never." And he's like, "Take it."
Yeah.
And we win, and then I think we won like 10 hands in a row.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Hilarious. They were wearing.
So he won all that money off that.
Yeah, and I gave it back. I'm not a jerk. And these two guys were wearing the same flannels.
Yeah.
I think they were there for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
And they were just going crazy.
It was pretty entertaining.
By the end of it, the pit boss was over there. And we were like the only ones in the casino, so they're like, fuck it, whatever.
And we're loud and stuff. Those two guys are crazy.
The two were nuts. We were loving every second of it.
We couldn't stop laughing. I remember laughing our asses off.
The dealer was cracking up by the end of it. The pit boss is laughing. There's hardly anybody else in the casino. I think it ends up being like 2:30 or almost 3 in the morning.
I remember when we looked up and the pit boss is right there kind of looking at us. We were like, Ugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, initially we're like, we're not with them. And he was like, I've been trying to shut them up all night. But yes, French Lick's great spot.
Yep.
March Madness, great time, especially when you don't have, we're more football guys.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have teams unless it's Miami of Ohio.
Right.
And if it's not, it's a great way to get root for some teams that you got randomly selected anyway.
It really is. It's such a fun thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun every year.
It really is. And this year's been a little bit more chalky, but the spreads still vary. So you never can tell what the year's going to bring.
You never know. But with that intro, we'll slide into football talk.
Yeah, we got football talk. Which part you want to hit first?
Why don't we start with the Russell Wilson to the Giants deal?
Yeah, okay.
What do we think?
We prefaced this with Jameis Winston going to the Giants.
Yeah.
That happens a couple weeks ago, give or take.
Maybe a week ago.
Hang in there with us, folks. Jameis Winston's on the Giants. All right, and then they decide to then get Russell Wilson for a couple years. I want to say it was like 2 years for some odd amount of money.
I mean, it just feels like Steelers 2.0, right? It feels like it's Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So it's like, what are the Giants thinking here?
Yeah, and what you also have to consider now is that you maybe not have a quarterback battle based on how much money each of those players were given.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Russell Wilson that starts based on salary.
Right.
But if they do have a quarterback competition, Jameis Winston's ceiling is so high, but his floor is below the earth.
Oh, and that's before we even talk about his I don't know if it was on Twitter or his message when Tom Brady was going to Tampa and he threw out, "Hey, I'm moving to Tampa, blah blah blah," and Jameis Winston goes, "Oh, I live here. What brings you to town?"
Oh no,
one of the funniest ass things ever, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, he knew what was going on then, and he's kind of getting Tom Brady again.
He's getting Tom Brady again,
and
he's what I like about him is after he had whatever shit happened to him in college and all that,
right?
But he really has a damn good attitude.
You can't kick him for his attitude.
This kind of shit. So here, I'll be interested to see what he does on this one too. He'll probably have some funny shit he's put out.
I mean, at first it was the LASIK eye surgery. He couldn't see downfield, and then last year it was, "Lord, deliver me from pick sixes." The Lord did not do that. Thou shalt throw more pick sixes.
Yeah.
And then he has the amazing Super Bowl run where this year at the Super Bowl he was the caster that kind of went around the crowd. He was with Bert Kreischer for a large majority of the night.
Yeah.
It was actually quite hilarious, to be honest with you. Great. He has a great career for sports casting after everything.
I think so. I mean, he's got to get into broadcasting because he's such a funny individual. Or have his own talk show. He might be like Pat McAfee or something. Who knows? But
he would be electric if they just had him with some other.
The guy's amusing as hell.
Great dude, from what I can tell.
Yep.
Off the casting.
Yeah.
So it's just hilarious that here he goes again.
Yep.
And he might be backing up Russell Wilson, but you know he's going to be hilarious on the bench. There's going to be mic'd up moments that.
And he's going to play because Russell's going to suck at times or get hurt.
He's going to be too scared to throw the ball, and Jameis will throw 3 interceptions in the same game.
So you're going to have,
Malik Neighbors might have one of the best second-year performances of a wide receiver ever because Jameis Winston threw to him half the time.
Yeah. And it's easy to see why the Giants want to do this, right?
Yes.
They're like, we've had nobody.
Right.
We'll take the chances with Jameis Winston because what we've had is this.
Yeah. With Russell, you're getting middle of the road.
Yep.
Not the floor's higher,
right.
Ceiling's lower.
Yep.
Jameis Winston, I mean, any given day you could hit in between Tom Brady in 2010 and Brett Favre at the end.
Yep. And Daniel Jones, I mean, whatever the world was going on with him, they don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
So it's clear they're trying to avoid that at any cost. Just going to throw this out. We'll come back to it in a minute. But, to Matt's comments last offseason about the Commanders leapfrogging the Cowboys.
Yeah.
If things fell right, Russell Wilson's career record against Dallas is 5-1, by the way.
Oh, dear God.
And I'm just saying.
Did they trot Russell Wilson out twice this year?
Is there a chance that Matt's prediction for the Washington comes true for the Giants this year, and the Cowboys are in the cellar?
Lord, based off the rosters right now.
Let me just throw that out there.
As a feeler, maybe.
As a
I don't think so.
But channeling a little Matt there, I know.
Hey,
but
you know what? Son of a bitch has been right. And thank you again, Matt, for the last few weeks.
Thank you for subbing in. Appreciate it, buddy.
Good God. Yeah. That's a horrifying thought.
It could happen.
It's not as far-fetched as it may seem.
So we'll come back to that in just a minute.
That'll be after the fact, but crazy shit with the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know what their plan is. I don't think they can do any worse than it has been.
No.
Tommy Cutlets, Daniel Jones.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, thinking about that now. Them giving that corner or defensive back the $35 million for 3 years that Saquon wanted after Saquon left. No one's ever doing Hard Knocks in the offseason again.
No.
That's over. They accidentally made the best content and the last content with the same show.
Who knew?
So, good on them for capturing the moment.
Yeah.
But you never see an organization look so stupid as that moment.
That really was bad.
And you have to wonder how many other moments were there like that never got captured because they were a little bit brighter about who they let in that room.
Would explain a lot, wouldn't it?
It would explain a lot throughout the years.
So let's go on to wide receiver Diggs.
Yeah, why not? So Stefon Diggs had 1 year with the Texans, got hurt, and is now on the Patriots.
Yeah.
With good old Drake May, future of New England.
Yeah, not a bad marriage there, I think,
He's looking around. I will say Patriots play the Bills twice a year.
Yep, that's right. And finally we can put an end to the rumors about Stefon Diggs wanting to play in Dallas with his brother Trayvon Diggs.
Yes.
So, that's done
settled.
finally.
Yep.
Because that's been lingering around out there.
It's a fair rumor for what it's worth. Family, you would assume there had to be maybe a talk at some point, and maybe things just off the bat were just on different levels.
And there were even rumors that Trayvon Diggs was going to be traded to like the Texans or wherever his brother is. So we'll see. I mean, it's not done yet. Maybe Trayvon Diggs gets traded to the Patriots now.
That would be horrifying.
So we'll see.
I mean, the Patriots already under Mike Vrabel have been making moves. It's flown under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, it's quiet, right?
And I'll put up the tweet I'm thinking of. I'll find it later tonight when I'm editing. But they have been adding sneaky amount of veterans and good players.
Yeah.
Not necessarily your Tyreek Hills or your Max Crosbys.
Yeah.
Because you can't have 8 of them on a team.
Yeah.
But they've been adding players.
The other one I find interesting is Tom Brady's Raiders were trying to sign somebody the other day. Do you remember who it is?
Shit, I don't know.
And maybe you can throw it in here.
Yeah.
But the Patriots jumped in there and surprisingly outbid him at the last minute and stole the guy.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the player's name, though.
That, I'll tell you what, Vrabel and the owner, Kraft,
Oh yeah.
you know that there's a little bit they want to stick it to Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah. Well, now because he's the first person to dip his foot after playing right into being part owner, minority owner, however you want to say it.
So, and we know Vrabel is spicy already.
God.
I mean, who's the only guy? Belichick was doing that thing about punting and letting the clock run, punting and let the clock run.
Yes.
And Vrabel was the one that did it back to him, which was funny as shit.
Oh yeah. There's nothing like Belichick and Belichick.
And Belichick was so pissed off he was doing his own shit against him.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, that game the refs were like issuing warnings to teams like you gotta stop, and they're just staring at each other.
And
The
Vrabel is just grinning over there, and Belichick was beside himself, pissed off.
Oh, I mean I don't know if there's a more perfect guy to hire in New England following Belichick than Mike Vrabel.
I agree.
A Patriot man through and through.
Yep.
He did coach on the Titans, and you could see in his eyes after the A.J. Brown stuff, he was done.
Yeah. Yep. So
as has been stated and fact checked numerous times.
So the big rumor this afternoon.
Oh yeah, finishing up with the Diggs.
Yep.
Moving on to rumor.
Yep. So the big rumor,
rumor mill,
just before we went on air, this was from the Browns reporter, or a enthusiast who claims to be in with the team.
Kevin's deep in the rumor mill right now.
Yes.
Behind enemy lines.
Yes.
Just for big picture.
Yep.
Rumors.
But he claims that the discussions between the Browns and Cowboys are going on currently for Dak Prescott to be traded to the Cleveland Browns.
And that opens up Pandora's box for
Shedeur Sanders, right?
What do you trade star quarterbacks for?
So
first round draft picks.
Yep. And so
a bunch of other stuff, hopefully.
The Cowboys do have a bunch of free cap space now. So why did Myles Garrett suddenly seem to decide to stay in Cleveland? That was part of this too. This was in the works.
Plenty of conspiracy theories, and this one
feels
as valid as the rest.
I've heard nothing out of nothing on the Cowboy blogs, nothing on the Cowboy reporters.
Nothing.
Again, this is all from the Brown side.
Right, and it's one particular guy that claims to be within the ring.
One guy.
So take it with what you want, but let's explore the hypothetical here.
Yep.
Dak Prescott goes to the Browns. Trade's announced. Let's say Browns give up their first round pick, amongst other things.
Right.
Who knows what those other things would be, amongst other things.
Yep.
Deion Sanders' kid then gets drafted to the Cowboys.
Right. Sanders
stay with Colorado coaching? Do you see the potential of an open door in the next couple of years? Because he's got that contract, I think, at Colorado for at least a few more years.
I would think.
I think they recently signed him, so it's like 5 maybe, if I'm remembering that right.
I got to believe he's got exit clauses to those things, I would think.
Buyouts that Jerry could buy for sure.
Yep. So, again, this dude from Cleveland, his name is Bruce Drennan. So, and we'll throw it up here.
I'll throw a tag.
But yeah, I mean, so the other rumor is that who the Cowboys are really interested in moving up to get was the corner receiver for
Hunter?
Colorado, Hunter. Yeah, Travis Hunter. Yep.
Now that would be insane.
So Jerry likes the Deion Sanders both way corner receiver kind of concept.
Oh.
And the dude is a freak of nature to be able to play both.
Without a doubt, playing that many snaps in a game.
I almost feel like if you did that with Dak and you went up to that position, I'd almost be, or maybe you're flexible for whatever, but that's the guy I would go after.
Travis Hunter.
All
right.
So let's just see if what transpires. The Browns are picking 4th or 5th?
Something like that.
I haven't. We'll come back to that, recently. But it's very interesting.
That is, because that's who you'd be for, because quarterbacks are gone, but then who becomes Cowboys
Dallas quarterback? I don't know. And, Cooper Rush is gone.
Right.
So he went to the Ravens.
Yep.
So they got Will Greer right now.
Oh, no.
And Trey Lance looks like he's signing with Canada. So the Trey Lance thing is done, too.
That experiment is over.
So they got nothing, unless they bring in Rodgers.
Now, that would be the ultimate cream of the crop. There's no way. He beat Cowboys too many times.
There's no way.
And what's his name's gone? If old Packers coach that was
the
Cowboys,
yep.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
If he's still in Dallas, I see that as a possibility.
Okay.
Him being gone, I don't see it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to dig through my Schottenheimer files. That almost sounded like I was talking about a Nazi. I'd have to dig through the new coach of the Cowboys files to see what connections he may have.
We've just opened the Schottenheimer files.
Oh, God.
2025.
No one would watch a Coy Pond Nazi documentary.
Secrets are on their way out.
Oh,
As we
God.
speak.
The SS Star.
Don't do it. Stop. I don't know.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. But it is funny to think about. Rodgers hasn't signed with the Steelers yet.
No.
Should he? Yes. The Steelers no longer have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Factually. Cowboys, if they don't have a quarterback, you have to imagine Aaron Rodgers at the top of that list to be picked up.
Wouldn't you think?
And I don't think I'm forgetting about any others unless they go with Gardner Minshew.
I think he signed somewhere.
Oh, he did actually.
Did he
Yeah, he did sign
I
somewhere.
don't know where it was, but
You're right. He already did.
yeah.
So
I don't know. There's not a lot left. Darnold was signed somewhere.
Stafford re-signed.
Stafford resigned.
They're not, Vikings are not taking calls on J.J. McCarthy.
Nope, they're done with that. So
unless they go for Mac Jones. But I think he even recently signed back with the Jaguars. Or he was already on the deal because he signed last year.
Yeah. Or are they drafting the Ohio State quarterback?
Oh, God.
You know?
I don't know. You're not wrong. They could go with a late draft pick.
Yeah.
In that doomsday scenario that the Cowboys are with it, America's team doesn't have a quarterback.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Now, could it be a deal where the Cowboys give up someone other than Dak Prescott for that draft pick? And the draft pick part of it's true, but Dak's saying.
Yeah, that could be.
That makes a lot of sense, too.
That's interesting.
If that rumor's true.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, people.
Just a rumor.
Off the rumor mill. But
just a rumor.
It is fun to talk about because who knows what could transpire from that.
Well, and as you looked up before we came on the air, how many days before the draft?
Oh, we've got 29 days.
So, free agency's kind of slowing down now. We've kind of gone through the first and some of the second wave. Now everybody's focused on the pro days and the draft,
everyone's
right?
Looking forward.
Cam Ward just had his pro day the other day. So now all the rumor mill starts about positioning and trading, and
we might get some Tunsil action where someone has a gas mask on and they want to drop several draft picks. And you know what? It's the funny thing because I think I've said this every year now. You can't believe shit about any of the draft players at this point on because all it is agents, owners, not college coaches, but coaches, owners, and agents playing games about where they want to line up. Player says, I want these two teams. Well, those two teams are draft pick 12 and 13. So we need to show you beating a dog. And that Twitter video just randomly pops up.
There you go.
What's Cam Ward doing?
And by the way, it's a good time to start watching Draft Day with Kevin Costner
Gotta watch
as we lead in here over the next month. So
it's a fun one.
My favorite scene is toward the end of the movie where he finally gets the draft picks back from the Seattle guy.
Right.
And he goes, I want my first round draft picks back, you pancake eating motherfucker. It's such a great movie. It has so much to it.
It is really good.
If you haven't seen it, that's your homework.
Yes.
So
I can't put a link for that, but
check it out.
You know, I'll put the little title up as I do.
I mean, Kevin Costner, Jennifer Gardner. I mean, what more do you want? Football here and there and everywhere. So
yeah. I mean, what a concept.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I can't think of anything else.
Would love to see some crazy blockbuster. You know how the Lakers and the Mavericks, and I think it was the third team. Yeah.
That whole thing.
Luka going to Lakers.
Well, that's what I read that Instagram post just shortly ago. It said this would be in the
realm of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be up there. I know NBA people talked highly of that trade, and that was a crazy trade to hear about on like a Saturday night at 12 o'clock. And this is my conspiracy theory coming out. Yeah. Or not theory, but idea. The NFL watched the NBA do some crazy-ass trade and thought, oh my God, this is, the NFL will never be the NBA when it comes to players in the sense of how that works. It's more similar to the MLB and that sort of thing. Yeah. But I have to think someone in the NFL, ratings-wise, went, oh, wait, if we just do some crazy shit, that'll really rile the fans up. And, maybe draft. If the viewership's been down at all, that'll be through the roof. Drafts in Green Bay this year, it's going to be a cold one. No, you're really right about that. To some extent. Maybe I don't have that analogy perfect, but you get what I mean, where that trade just sparked the mentions on Twitter and ratings for that skyrocketed.
It's really true.
There's got to be something in there.
Yeah.
I would love for like a 4-way trade for not Josh Allen, that's not the
picks and multiple players.
Yes, I need one
3 teams involved.
One team does the picks, one team does the star player, another team does the star player.
It could be pretty damn cool.
Max Crosby to the Rams for, Puka Nakua, and then all of a sudden, what is the 49ers doing? They're just swapping picks.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
wouldn't that be awesome?
Something like that.
Well, as we're talking about being a month away, 29 days from the draft, it's like talking about that Thursday night, the prime time, it gets started. And the first 10 picks, let's see some fireworks, baby.
Yes, you're hoping for that.
Fireworks.
And what happens? One team trades. It goes exactly as planned.
Yep.
Every damn time, except for the couple outliers.
Ward, Hunter,
Sanders. Couple of great edge rushers.
Yep.
I'm bored.
Yep.
Too
All
funny.
right, man.
But that's going to do it for us on the Coy Pond this week. I hope everyone has a great week.
By the way, episode 72, my all-time favorite Dallas Cowboy, Ed Too Tall Jones, number 72. And so
that's what
be remiss not to mention that.
It took us 72 episodes to figure out we should have been doing that this whole time. Favorite NFL players of the episode.
For each of the episodes?
Yeah. We'll do it the last 23.
There you
27.
go. Why not?
Maybe we can find a 99.
Yeah.
There is definitely, Aaron Donald.
There you go.
Okay. Well, fuck. Never mind. I gave it away 99. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll see you all next week on the Coy Pond.
Take care.
Peace.